Hello there, this is Gage Williams coming at you with the next installment. Well, it should have been the next installment last video. I gotta explain, we're doing Papu's Pyramid today, which should have came right after Dingo Canyon, but, I am a bit incompetent. This is one of the flaws with my method of recording, so, let me explain what happened and why, Dragon Mines came first. When I do recording of just about anything, I usually record in bulk. I do multiple recordings at a time because when I'm into something, I'm really into it, so I like to just do it all while I'm thinking about it. And while I'm thinking about it quickly, I gotta interrupt myself here. This is a PSA about not neglecting these plants. Don't neglect them. Seriously, they will kill your run immediately if you get eaten by any of them. But anyway, back to the topic. Basically, I record in bulk all the time. So, for example, except for Crash Cove, I did do Crash Cove, just the one thing, but otherwise, I think Ruse Tubes through, whatever one came right before Mystery Caves, I think Blizzard Bluff, and then I did Mystery Caves on its own, and then I did basically everything up to Cortex Castle, with the exception of Dingo Canyon, which also had its own because that took 45 minutes. Everything up to Cortex Castle after Mystery Caves was done in one session, including this Papu's Pyramid. And what happened was, there was my huge hiatus after Dingo Canyon because of I got sick, and there was high school graduation stuff going on everywhere. And so, recently, but like right before I started editing the Dragon Mines thing, I just kind of took a quick glance over my footage, my video files, to see if I had edited anything, and I saw that I was partially through editing Dragon Mines. And so what I thought was, and I should have checked, I mean, this was just incompetence on my part, and just doing the quick thing, I just went and saw that I was like halfway through editing the Dragon Mines footage and halfway through like recording it and whatnot, and so I just went, oh, well that must be the next video, so I'm gonna clean out old footage that I don't need anymore, and with it went Papu's Pyramid, which I had edited and rendered but had not uploaded. I thought I did upload it, so this is what you get. We gotta do this over now. I had to re-record this fresh today. And it turned out well. It was a pretty good run. Not bad, not bad. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, so I apologize for the inconsistency. It's gonna kind of throw everything off, and I'm gonna make sure this thing doesn't happen again, because there's no reason that something like this should happen. It was completely my fault. I just neglected to check and see what the actual next video was. I apologize if anybody got confused. So, let's get on with Papu's Pyramid, which I think is one of the most interesting time trial tracks in the game, due to the way the Oxide Ghost is structured, and due to the way the track is structured. This one's interesting. This is the closest the Oxide Ghost gets, in my opinion, to using an exploitable shortcut. Like, a shortcut that wasn't intended to be, or it doesn't appear like the shortcut was intended, but the ghost takes it, and that is the big chasm gap across this final turn before the finish line here, which you're gonna see right like this. I don't know if they intended that. I mean, I'm guessing since, you know, the ghost... See, this goes back to, how was the ghost programmed? Did they just program the ghost, or did they have someone run a modded character in their own time trials and see who got the fastest time? I don't know. I mean, I didn't work on the game or anything, so I can't tell you, but... So I wonder if that is actually intended to be a legit shortcut or not, or if it's a game exploit that was rendered in for additional challenge. I don't know. Either way, I don't really agree with that shortcut, but what can I say? There are far worse exploitable shortcuts involving this bridge right here that many people know. I don't know how to pull it off, but I think it involves like landing on the rails, like the wall on the lower track, and it counts as a lap even though it's like only about 10 seconds or so. I don't know, it's something crazy. So Papu's Pyramid is, in my opinion, one of the hardest Oxide Ghosts in the game. if you aren't good at taking the shortcut, and if you can't do the drift around the square loop-de-loop. That is why I am using Cortex and not the typical Dingodile, is because Cortex has slightly better handling, and therefore I think he's more worth it to take on Papu's Pyramid just because of this square loop-de-loop. You can do the square loop with Dingodile, it's just too finicky. It's not worth the amount of hassle that you have to go through to try and perfect it every lap. It's so much easier with Cortex, even though the ending time's not going to be as fast as it could have been with Dingodile, but what can you do? So as for advice, let's get on to the tips portion of this, this square loop-de-loop. You should be able to fit 2 full strings of drift boosts, assuming you are using Cortex or any other handling character better than Dingodile or Tiny. Pardon me. And I believe that Dingodile and Tiny can also do it, but it is much more difficult. You have to at least take a middleweight character, like Cortex or Crash. You can't take anyone slower than that, otherwise you cannot make the final jump, that jumping shortcut that I was talking about earlier. You can't do it if you're not a character that's at least Cortex or Crash speed. You have to be at that or above it, otherwise you won't make it. That little pillar jump right there is deceptively difficult. It's more difficult than you'd think, anyway. It's very easy to overshoot it or to not jump at all because of mistiming it. So definitely practice that one up. It's not too bad if you take it from the far left of that turn. That's a little more elevated, so I would definitely recommend doing that. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, do not ignore the plants. Be careful around them. Seriously, your run will be over with. Right here is one of the best tricks you can do. You reposition yourself by turning hard in the right in the middle of the air before those 2 plants in the lower section, and then when you land, immediately start drifting left. And if you, with enough practice, that'll really help you get into better position and better speed for the final jump. Thank you all for watching. Papu's Pyramid is simple but difficult due to the shortcuts. Hope you enjoyed, and we will get back on track next time.